Hello and welcome to the second fairytale DIY video. I will show you 7 more ideas what to craft, so let's go! Let's start with the adorable blue perler beads. You can use this as everything that you want. You just have to be creative enough. Like if I had a shelf, I would put it at the end of the shelf to hold my manga and stuff. Anyhow, the way you'll do this is you will take this much of everything. Watch this in slow motion and just follow me. When you're done, put some baking paper over the beads and then gently and slowly iron it so they would become the way you want it to be. I prefer mine really smooth, but if you prefer your more retro, I suggest that you write everything backwards because, well, when you flip it, it will be backwards, so you have to correct it before ironing it. And now you just have to find a purpose for it and just have it there, standing cutely. Fairytale pins, and along with it I'll also be making zodiac aquarium. I'll be using something like Shrinky Dicks, but something that is really a knockoff version. This one is like white and you write on it like on a paper, and this one is see-through. For the best result, I suggest writing on it with markers for plastic and CDs and stuff. This is the first time that I'm using them, so I'm not the expert, but yeah, let's go. Take every supply that you're planning to use on a piece of it and test it out. That way you will know what color you can use, what color does not stick, what color becomes darker, and you will know how much the plastic shrinks. So yeah, you have to make sure that you be careful about it. After testing it, it's time to draw your sketch. Then I color them in and then carefully cut them out, all except the fairytale emblem that they flip, and use the paint that glows in the dark to paint its backside. Then I carefully put them all on a baking paper and then I went to bake them. They actually bake really fast, you just have to follow the instructions. Also, there will be a lot of curling, so don't go freaking out, that's normal, just stay still, everything will be fine. Once it's done, take them out and put something heavy over it so it stays straight. I repeated this process with a chibi drawing of Aquarius. I didn't really have blue color, so I used a blue tattoo pen, which is not waterproof, which will also be a blessing and a curse later in the video. And once it was done, I took a jar. Unfortunately, I only had one small jar that is a bit weird, so I suggest you find yourself a nice looking jar for this because it's worth it. I poured in some hot glue and glued her inside. I also poured hot water in it. I was planning to put in some blue dye, but there was no need for it because the blue dye from her got washed off and painted the water almost as if I planned it. I also added in some glitter and salt because I'm hoping that over time it will crystallize and that would look cool. I strongly suggest you don't put any of that, but just crystals like rocks that glow in the dark because that would be so cool. I also decorated the top of the bottle and put on a little ball, and there you have it, a zodiac aquarium. I'm just really happy how mine turned out and how it fits so well with the key. Like, oh my god, I wish I had a shelf and friends who would make stuff like this for me so I can just put them to stand there in my room. Like, that would be so cool, especially Leo. Like, I would like to have a jar with Loki. So what about the rest of the things that we baked? You will just have to put some hot glue and pins on it, and you will get yourself a set of pins that look like they're as if they're store-bought. And just like in my every DIY, I just had to include a shirt, and this one just makes me so happy because it turned out looking so cute. Draw a stencil on something that is thick and something that will not curl when you pour something that is water substance. Cut it out neatly. Just take your time on this step. I literally done it for hours because I wanted it to look okay. Put something in your shirt, like something that is thick, something that will definitely prevent color to leak on the backside. Glue on the stencil and make sure that it's secure so it doesn't move. Then you'll spray it or paint over it. Once you're sure that it is well sprayed on or painted on, you're free to remove the stencil, but carefully. I also cut out the word happy and colored it in with basic fabric paint. and once everything is dry, put a baking paper over it and iron it to fill in the color. And once that is done, you're free to remove the thing that you put inside the shirt. This is what happened with mine, and this is what would happen to my backside if I didn't put it in. And ta-da! You're now free to wear your shirt. I don't know if any of you noticed, but a lot of characters in Fairy Tail have horns, and cosplay can be quite expensive, so here is a little tip how to quickly and cheaply make horns. Also, do not use this if you want horns that are smooth, because that's not going to happen. It will look bumpy and as if it's devil, which is why I'm making horns of our dearest E&D. I took some liminal foil and tried to shape it so it would look like a beautiful horn ready to kill people. What am I saying? And then I tried to replicate it, but mirrored. It took some time, but it turned out okay. And once you have your base, you will get some Mod Podge and paper. I suggest using newspaper, but I didn't have any, so any paper should do okay. First layer you can do however you want, like it doesn't matter, just glue that sucker on and let it be. And then try to make stripes and stuff like the neatly as possible, that helps. And then at the end you're free to just glue it as much as you want and however you want. Just make sure to straighten everything so everything is as smooth as possible and that everything is well colored. And also do not use thick layers of Mod Podge, just be gentle with everything. Once everything is covered with at least 2 layers and well smoothed out, set it aside to dry. Once it's dry, you will have to paint it. I suggest acrylic color, but I didn't have any, so I use my kind of spray. Just be sure to paint all the shadows and details and stuff, like that would look so cool if you done it properly. Find something that you will set them on, like handband or elastic or something, and glue it on. And I'm so going to repaint them if I ever get a normal paint to do it with. I may look evil at the moment, but I'm actually in the middle of baking, so how evil can be a person who bakes? And next we have guild emblems, stamps. Stamps are really cool for a lot of stuff, so let's go and make ourselves some. I made 2 mistakes while making this, but no worries, I will tell you what to do. You will need a foam sheet, sketch the emblems on them and cut them out. This is where I made mistake. You should make this twice, or on a thicker foam, then cut them out. And also cut out the circle that is big enough for them to fit in. Glue them all together. And here is where I made the second mistake. I used a bottle cap as a handle, and that wouldn't be a problem if I have put a cardboard or gray board or something between the layers, because this way when you try to print them, the pressure doesn't go through the entire thing. I know it's getting confusing, but trust me, I know what I'm saying. And once you made it, take some ink and test it out. And if you listen to my advice, it should be looking better than this, because you can see that mine did not print well because of the pressure problem. And the last but not least, the Fairy Tail logo that every member of the guild has. For this, you will need sports markers, surgery markers, tattoo markers, waterproof eyeliner, or body paint. Like any of those 5 would do excellent. But apps broke, so I bought a set of 3 markers for like $1 from eBay, and they are not the best, let's just say that. Like, just get some scotch tape, draw the shape, cut it out, glue it in your hand, and go over it with any of those 5, and you will have a waterproof emblem that will last at least for a day, which is excellent for any cosplay. Also, a lot of people in Fairy Tail have tattoos and markings, like for example the gray hand, so this is very useful for any of that as well. Anyhow, these are my 7 ideas for the Fairy Tail DIY. I also made one video before with 7 more ideas. If you got inspired and made any of these, please tag me on Instagram, I would love to see it. Also, if you want to support me and more of my DIYs, I'm unemployed and broke, so if you want to leave me a tip, please do so over coffee. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.